the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra has become one of the most confusing phones in recent leak history. One day, the headlines claim a big new telephoto lens is coming. The next day, the same lens is suddenly weaker than before. Then a few hours later, the story flips again saying the upgrade is real, but only slightly. After that, another leak calls the upgrade fake, and the entire cycle restarts with new, final specs. This endless back and forth has turned the S26 Ultra camera discussion into a complete circus. And all of it is happening because of one single lens. For months, the debate has gone in circles. Some leaks have promised a jump to 12 megapixels for the secondary telephoto lens. Others went even further, claiming Samsung was preparing a massive jump to 50 megapixels. But that rumor crashed almost as quickly as it began. Very soon, everything shifted back to 20p, then down to 10 megapixel again, and then up again. What should have been a small detail became a battlefield for leakers, with arguments, counter-arguments, and even personal attacks, all over a lens that most users barely think about. Here's the simple truth: the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra will have 4 rear cameras. A main wide camera, an ultra-wide camera, a periscope zoom camera, and a standard telephoto camera. Most of these lenses are predictable upgrades. The only confusion is around the basic 3x zoom camera. And realistically, this lens will not decide the success or failure of the S26 Ultra. The main camera is the real star. The periscope zoom camera is the fun one that gets attention in marketing. The ultra-wide lens is useful for group photos and landscapes. The 3x telephoto lens, it is helpful for portraits and mid-range zoom, but it is not exciting. Whether it is 10 megapixel or 12 megapixel, most users will not notice the difference in daily use. Even reviewers who inspect images at 300% zoom might struggle to tell them apart. That's why this entire fight has stopped being fun. Leaks are supposed to build hype, spark excitement, and reveal the next big step in smartphone innovation. But the S26 Ultra leak cycle has reached a point where tiny changes of 2 megapixels are treated like breaking news, and the arguments surrounding them are louder than the leaks themselves. Many users and even some journalists believe this might be the moment the Samsung leak hype machine finally slows down. Samsung has been playing it safe for years. The S24 Ultra and S25 Ultra were not huge redesigns, and the S26 Ultra seems to follow the same pattern. So the excitement depends heavily on small details. And when those small details start to bounce back and forth endlessly, people lose interest. But while the camera debate has become messy, there are other S26 Ultra leaks that actually matter, especially the display. Samsung has always pushed brightness higher each year. The Galaxy S24 Ultra delivered 600 nits. The S25 Ultra stayed the same. Now, even though the S26 Ultra is expected to finally switch to Samsung's newer M14 OLED panel, the brightness will reportedly stay at 600 nits again. This would mean Samsung's brightest era is not moving forward, while Apple and Google push their displays to 3000 nits with their latest M14 panels. But brightness isn't the whole story. The S26 Ultra is expected to use Corning Gorilla Armor 2, or an even newer version, with an advanced anti-reflective coating. This coating reduces reflections so effectively that it can make a 600 nit display look better outdoors than a 3000 nit display without such coating. In bright sunlight, reflection control often matters more than peak brightness, so even though the numbers aren't increasing, the actual viewing experience might feel like a real upgrade. And that's not all. The S26 Ultra may also introduce a new privacy display feature. This technology automatically dims parts of the screen to hide sensitive information when the phone detects that someone around them might be watching. It could activate during banking, messaging, or other private tasks. If this feature works as described, it will be a far more impactful upgrade than a few hundred extra nits of brightness. On top of that, the switch to an M14 OLED panel also means better power efficiency. With Samsung sticking to a 5000 mAh battery, a more efficient display could help extend battery life. Small improvements like this matter more than a brightness bump that most users rarely use. So, while the camera lens debate has drained all the fun from leak season, the display upgrades paint a clearer picture of what Samsung is really focused on: smarter improvements rather than flashy numbers. In many ways, the Galaxy S26 Ultra leak journey shows a shift in the smartphone world. As hardware becomes more refined, small changes start to look bigger than they are. And when those small changes become the center of attention, the leaks can start to feel repetitive and even tiring. Maybe the real excitement will return in February, when Samsung finally reveals the S26 Ultra officially. By that time, the entire argument about 10 megapixel versus 12 megapixel will be forgotten, because the real experience of using the phone will matter far more than 2 megapixels on one camera. Until then, the best approach is simple: enjoy the meaningful upgrades, ignore the noise, and wait for the full picture to arrive.